result of this is District 3 will have 551 fewer people than the original proposal of February 14th. District 4 will gain 475 people. That's up in Northeast Lake, as you remember. And District 5 will gain 76 people. Overall, what does this mean? Well, one piece of it is these two neighborhoods, East Avondale, Forest Park, are now divided as compared to the proposal. That is offset by Northeast Lake, which is here, which is now consolidated. So the net effect is one additional divided neighborhood. What I think also needs to be taken into account is the overall assessment of the percentage of people in each district who remain from 2021, when the existing district plan that's in place that elected you all was around, compared to the draft. I said earlier, we were at a stage where roughly about 86% or so percent of people in Birmingham are in the same district at the end of this process, if this draft is adopted, than at the beginning. And it varied by district. And I'll just say the effect of these changes actually improves that percentage for District 5. The percentage of people who remain in District 5 with a percentage of the new district goes up from about 75% to about 78%. And in District 3, the percentage is still high as it was before at about 85.4%. District 4 is 85.8%. But it overall creates a map that I think does improve on the guideline about helping to preserve the choices that were made by constituents in their original districts. And so if you take all of that into account, the division of an additional neighborhood, particularly as Councilor Quinn offered us, if there's record evidence that people of the neighborhood want this, seems to be a reasonable trade-off, if you will, in the map. So overall, I would endorse it as compliant with guidelines. It doesn't create any legal issues related to either equal population, we kept things well within the bounds, or voting rights act considerations. They are, all the districts are roughly as they were before, maybe plus or minus percentage point or two. So at least the guidelines and the law go, I think this is a plan that is, plenty fine. If the council, prefers this one to the original, we would endorse it.
Thank you, Dr. Creighton. Any questions for Dr. Creighton regarding the summary of this particular change or the agreement between these counselors? Thank you. I do want to thank each counselor for following the intent of the guidelines and how we had agreed to talk among ourselves and to reach some type of consensus on these changes. So I do appreciate each of you for going through that exercise. Any comments or questions? I would like to say something.
No. Try not to sneeze.
No. All right. We did have some other documents that were included in the packet, and that just helps to support some of the data that Dr. Creighton was referring to as far as any population changes that were affected by this agreement. Okay. Counselor, I know that we continue to be in the phase of obtaining input from the public. We won't be making a final vote on this map until our April 19th meeting. And so I do encourage residents, if they have any additional outstanding questions, and having heard what our summary was today and sort of how we grouped the public input that we had from the public meeting, I don't know if we'll have additional questions that may fall outside of those three categories that we already considered, or that we categorized the questions that we had received during the citizens' input during the public hearing. Okay. So as far as consideration of redistricting changes, we have the draft map before us. We are continuing to wait on or entertain that option for public comment. And again, we will have the meeting during the April 19th meeting where residents, have an opportunity during that meeting as well. We've had the public hearing that was required by our own ordinance, but then we'll go through the process on the 19th of considering the final draft of the map. Any questions or comments? I think that's what we do. Yes, sir.
So, given that there are some agreed upon changes, can the maps that we're sharing with the public now reflect those?
And I'm going to refer that to Dr. Creighton. You have what you've just shown us, Dr. Creighton?
I do.
And so did you hear Dr. O'Quinn's question about how we would share or make available the changes that, or the agreements that we've making at this point?
Sure. I would, as I said, have no, objection with respect to either the guidelines or the law with that map. So if the council, if you all agree that this is a map that you want to consider as one that you would adopt, I would certainly encourage it being distributed. I think, and again, this is one where I want to respect the lane I sit in compared to where the city attorney is. But because you filed a map in compliance with the ordinance, I think it probably needs to at least remain on the books, and it could sit alongside this proposal. But, as far as a mapping proposal to be distributed, we're certainly prepared to produce both, right, the data that you see now and a mapping image that shows the proposal that incorporates all of these changes that were just discussed. So I would recommend, if you're seeking a recommendation, that this proposal be distributed, if it's going to be considered formally, along with the information that's already on the website, and also, we do the same sort of distribution for libraries and the like that we've done with the proposal on 214.
So, isn't that what we want collectively?
Yes.
Am I on the right same page? Okay.
And I don't feel as if we have to, well, we entertain a vote on that. Let's just say for
I'll
the
make a
record that we
motion we
do.
do
Thank
that.
you. You make a motion,
Yeah.
that please. Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Any questions?
So,
Yes.
state the motion again.
To distribute both electronically and at the library and here and wherever else it's available.
Landing page.
Yeah, the landing page, the new map with the agreed upon changes that everyone's made, so everybody's not looking at the old map and we're gonna vote on.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. So we'll direct, get your assistance with that, Dr. Creighton, and then can we get council admin to, assist with the,
Yes, yes.
all right. Thank you. Thank you all for considering, those changes, and appreciate the work that you've done, Dr. Creighton, in being prepared to, help us to disseminate that information. Thank you. That is all of our new business. As far as old business, we do have opportunity if we want to have any updates from planning, engineering, and permits. And this includes our GIS team that sort of maps the city for us land-wise. And so I don't know if Ms. Thomas, if you had any information you want to share, any updates?
Good afternoon. We don't have any major updates. Just want to thank the council for us participating in this process. When everything is finalized, we'll make sure that the boundaries and non-technical issues are resolved. So,
Thank you very much, and we do appreciate the work that GIS has done in assisting us with this and assisting Dr. Creighton in, looking at our boundaries and looking at our maps as they set forth now. So thank you all very much. As far as the Office of the City Attorney, I want to thank Attorney Bernard. I know that now your work will begin with us in tandem as we look forward to writing our ordinance. And the regulatory input for this. So do you just want to give us an update or next steps? Thank you, Dr. Barnard.
I don't know that I have any updates. I'm hearing that there are, questions, legal questions, but, I believe the ordinance is, basically drafted. That was presented with the map. Of course, the attachments will change
Yes.
with any line changes. So.
Well, thank you. And as always, we appreciate the Office of the City Attorney. And we always like it when we're in agreement with what you're telling us to do. So we appreciate that guidance. I don't know if there wasn't any other discussion we needed. I know Dr. Creighton had said maybe we needed some type of, but since we were all in agreement on the next steps for how we would produce and distribute those revised changes, I think we're in accordance. No, we need to time for further reading on that. Thank you very much. Councilors, is there any other business that we have before us as far as just waiting for the input, any additional input we may have from the public? And then we'll be working to get those other copies of the map out there. Councilor O'Quinn.
Did have a question. So, where is all of the input that is being submitted through the webpage? Who's compiling that, and where is that available for us to look at?
Good question. PIO has been responsible for logging and cataloging in that information. Have we had any so far that we need to distribute or?
Actually, I think Mr. McDaniel might be.
Okay, Mr. McDaniel, just a question. We wanted to be sure that we receive that input or we have not acknowledgement of any comments that we're receiving through the landing page. And so would that be distributed to us or have you had any that we need to distribute as of now?
I've had checked the landing page since Sunday. I mean, not the landing page, the email since Sunday. I can check and see if there are any updates since Sunday. For sure, anything that comes, share.
I was gonna say, I knew that as of the public hearing, there had been none at that point. And so if anything had come in since then, we'll be sure to, he's monitoring that and we will be distributing that. So thank you. We'll be sure.
A few questions. But no record per se. This is plan staff. Record to be accountable. So, it's a very valid. I don't know.
Thank you. And I'm sure I know that you would, if that ends up being a conversation or a direction or questions that need to be brought to the attention of the council or the committee, I know that you'll make us aware of that. So appreciate that. Any other questions or discussion? That ends our old business. So can I have a call for motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Meeting